I recently saw a video called the January Slump by Desiree, or the Handmade Mum. So I was going to write something in the comments, and I thought, well, let's talk about it. I mean, firstly, Desiree, I want to give you a massive hug from across the pond in the UK. It is really tough, especially being a parent, especially with young kids, and running a handmade business at the same time. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name's Alan, and I'm a dad of two young kids. My situation is slightly different. I work a day job, but essentially it's the same. It's now well 10 to 9, and my daughter's only just gone up for bed. It's a bit late today, so now I can sit down in peace and start making my art displays and photo displays. So yeah, I think obviously we all have, as small business owners, we all have ambitions to grow and develop our businesses. But where was I? Oh yeah, it's I was going to say it's great to have big plans, as they say, reach for the stars, and why not? But at the same time, I suppose, whether you're a solopreneur or even a small team, that one person or two or three people got to do all that. So running a business is, I'm not very well practiced at talking and doing at the same time, but I've got to do. So one person has to wear all the hats. Let's see if I can find that. Yeah, so that can be everything from running the online store, whether that's Etsy, your website, or Amazon, wherever it is. You've got to run that, and you've got to deal with customer services, all the queries. Hopefully you don't get too many complaints, but usually it's like, where's my stuff? It's late. And see what I mean. I need my little brush, which is somewhere. Right, let me get my bits I need, and I think it should be done. Oh, while we're at it, we'll get this as a little pencil. Where was it? Oh yeah, so you forget that you wear all the hats. I think it was what? Oh yeah, so the online store, customer service, and then developing your products, including like the photography, writing the copy, your social media, which I must admit I'm not really that hot on, and when the orders come in, you've got to fulfill, you've got to do packing, shipping, and then depending how well established your business is, you've got to do the finances, tax returns, and inventory. So making sure you're ordering in your raw materials, and then on top of that, you're going to make your products as well. So that's an awful lot of stuff to be doing in the evenings and weekends. So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, and I've been there as well, you have these big plans, and it's only natural that if you're struggling to you feel you should be going like at a certain pace, you should be growing quite quickly, or it'd be nice to, but sometimes you just, you're kind of limited by just the amount of free time you have. Unfortunately, with handmade, that's how it goes, because you or someone in your team have got to make the items at the end of the day. So yeah, I'd just say try to not be too disheartened if you kind of feeling that you're going slow, and maybe look back to say like your beginning and kind of see, celebrate how far you've come since then, which is, it's pretty pretty good. So for most, I think, when you start your store and you get that first order, that can take quite a while, weeks if not months for some people, and then it grows from there. And I remember the early days just being so excited to have that first order and just not knowing what I was doing. I spent a whole night just to pack one item, and then gradually it grows, and hopefully, depending where you are on your journey, it grows, and that's when you kind of start dreaming big and think, right, I can really do this. For me, I guess the ultimate goal is I could replace at some point my day job, and just when you have young kids, it's just nice to spend time with them and not always be away. I mean, I'm quite lucky that since lockdown, I've got the option to basically only go to the office one day a week. But that's still, even if I'm working from home, I still have to be available. I can't just go off and do other things. So yeah, it'd be really nice to just have that flexibility, to not have to be able to do your own thing. It'd be amazing. But where was I? I'm rambling a bit. So yeah, I just wanted to say, it's fine, and I think you can still get there. So just try and be maybe a bit easier on yourself, and think, well, maybe if you think something's going to take you a month, but in reality it might take 3 or longer. And I'll give you the example for Etsy. They often say, oh, you should have, ideally, like, if you're doing handmade, about 50 listings. And yeah, it took me literally years. I'm now about just over 5 years in now, and yeah, it's taken me probably 3 or 4 years before I got up to 50 listings, and I have so many ideas here, and when they'll make it to when I'll make them happen, a lot of them I don't know, just and I used to get really frustrated by that. I used to think, oh my god, I'm just being really rubbish and I'll never grow. But now I'm just like, well, again, if I look back to the start when I didn't have this little business, I've kind of grown quite a bit from there, so that's fine. And I just kind of accept that if I'm making stuff, then that's good, right? Because you're getting orders, but because I'm making stuff, I can't spend that time developing new products or recording a whole load of TikToks or whatever, Pinterest and all the things you've got to do. So I just kind of try and enjoy it a bit. The whole idea of this is to be creative, and my day job's very it's corporate, but very kind of fixed in that there's the kind of job I do. There's laws and rules we've got to follow, so you can't really just. It's not like craft or art, or where you can be a bit creative or very creative, and so yeah, I've just come to accept that things will always happen, and if you have, whether you've got kids or whether you're got a dependent and you might be a carer, or you might have 2 jobs and you're trying to do your side hustle on top of that, then it's a lot, and sometimes those things will take priority. There'll be other days. I think Desiree was saying, the January Slump. Yeah, there's just days where you just won't be in the mood. I could come back from a day in the office, I'd just be absolutely shattered, and I just won't want to do anything, or I just can't. I just have to just sit there after dinner and just do nothing and go to bed because my head's just frazzled from the day. and that's fine. I mean, we're all people, right? We're not machines. So I think sometimes if things aren't going to plan, then just let it be, because if it's not happening, it's not happening, and tomorrow will be better. I think don't always look at things kind of in the short term, and maybe think a bit like look at the long term, and I think that makes it a bit more manageable. And yeah, of course, depending where you are in the world, if it's winter, then the weather's rubbish. You're not getting a lot of sunshine, and if you celebrate the holidays, then you've probably spent a lot of time with family or friends maybe, and then now you're kind of back to the routine, and it's a bit like, yeah, it might feel a bit rubbish, but spring will come, and I think yeah, you've got to kind of have a balance of the good and the not so good, and overall I think yeah, it's good. Otherwise we wouldn't keep going, right? We'd just we'll have packed up and just sit back on the sofa and watch TV all night and things like that. So that's it really. I just wanted to say, yeah, just keep, as hard as it is, just keep motivated, and yeah, celebrate the successes, and when things don't go to plan, it's okay. Stuff happens, and as long as overall you're kind of growing, and your business is going to where you want it to be, then that's okay. And maybe as especially if you've got dependents, as they get more independent, you'll have more time to focus on your business. So I think the future would be easier, which is good, because if you think how much you've achieved now, juggling, you know, um, being mum or dad, and if you've got a day job or not, but 2 or 3 kids or more is a lot, especially if they're little, to handle. Then yeah, so I'd see it as a bonus that anything you can manage on top of that, especially if you're getting regular sales and you're doing craft fairs and running pop-up shops or all of that kind of thing, it's a really good achievement. So I think sometimes we lose sight of what we've accomplished, and yeah, just I hope it brings comfort to you that there's others out there, and people often say, look at my product launch, I sold out, and I've done this and that, and of course it's really nice, and just to see that. But as they would say, don't compare yourself to others, because you don't know their situation, how much help they've had, or how far along their journey they are. So we're each on our own journeys, and they will be slightly different, but I like to think we'll get there in the end, and we'll kind of look back and just think, oh yeah, I remember that time, and it was just I was feeling a bit rubbish, but look at me now. What have I achieved? I think sometimes people don't always share the downs. They always share the positive stuff, but there is the other side to life, as we all know. So try not to be too disheartened by it, and yeah, focus on the positives and reach out. I'm here, and I'm sure the other makers and solopreneurs are out there. So I think it can be a bit isolating, because most people don't get why you'd want to, at 9 p.m. at night, start another job, and work for goodness knows how many hours into the night, but we do it, and obviously we like doing it, or we wouldn't do it. But a lot of people won't get that, so I think sometimes it's hard to talk. So I'd encourage you to kind of reach out to your fellow makers in the community, or to build a community, because sometimes it is good to just kind of offload, or just share your thoughts with others in the solopreneur space. So yeah, I better crack on, because I've been rubbish at doing two things at the same time. So yeah, hope that kind of brings some comfort to you, and yeah, just keep on going, and yeah, wish you all the best. All right, bye for now.